Hold your flippin' horse's beard. Didn't you already cover the October quality of life update here like a month ago back in September? Yup, sure did, friend. In fact, that video is right bloody here if you have forgotten about it since. But hold up times two. Weren't you also on top of covering all the hot fixes for the update that came later on and sporadically? Yup, I did that too. In fact, here are those two videos too. So what gives then? Why am I here again? Was there another hotfix? Well, funny enough, yes there was, but it's very small and brings with it an odd change to fire nettles, where it seems that they will no longer be stinging us when we harvest them, and they kind of adjust how much they're going to heat us up and damage us. But that's besides the point, as it is kind of a really weird change. But the point of this video here is to help put all the information all in one place instead of three separate places. Because as you can see, there is a lot of information, and it kind of all trickled out over the course of a literal month, and folk might have missed some of it. So in short, we are here today to summarize the quote-unquote full October quality of life update, everyone. So let's get to it. And I see no reason not to start with what might just be the biggest, most influential changes Don't Starve Together has ever received. Server pausing. While I do question the all or nothing approach to it that Clay has taken at the end of the day, that doesn't mean it won't be welcomed, as things go kinda well beyond simply pausing a world to grab a snack or two, everyone. With these new abilities also comes the ability to save ourselves from imminent death. Seriously, being able to mess with your inventory is one thing. Being able to equip Forgotten Light, armor, weapons, and more while also technically not still being in full control is a whole other thing. This is going to save lives for sure. Especially when a paused game also allows for us to craft things in queue almost. For you see, not only can we view crafting recipes during this time, but we can actually begin a craft when paused, only to finish it when we unpause. It's kinda nuts. We can also chat in pause servers, which can be useful. The game pauses for solo players who look at the map now, and things even freeze when we go to change our looks or read a cookbook. And while it's still gonna be a bit foreign to a lot of people out there, and will be requiring some adjusting, again, it's a mechanic that I don't mind. I just kinda wouldn't mind an on-off switch, however. Oh, but make note, most of what I just got into can only happen when not using the actual pause button, mind you. Only the keybind. Pausing via the not a pause screen still works, mind you, but all that inventory management will be off the table, and clicking anywhere is gonna unpause you immediately, so be mindful there. Moving on though to most likely the second biggest change in the updates, the change to how Warley's spices can interact with the world and its many creatures. Put simply, all spice buffs now work on all mobs. Well, the ones that can actually eat the spice food, of course. So for example, spice up a pigman and it will go from dealing 33 damage to darn near 40 a porky punch. Murs could be spiced up too, and not just the normal ones, mind you. And even Weber's spider armies can benefit too. If you can even manage to feed spiced up foods to enough followers for things to even matter, I suppose. And that's the kicker. If any of this is going to be viable and worth it. Now, the garlic spice on mobs is one where I'd say no way Jose pretty much all the time, although it will keep things alive longer, I guess. And the honey crystals are debatable at best. I mean, they definitely work, as you can see, but are we really going to have enough patience, materials, and time needed to spend time, patience, and materials on spicing up our follower armies? I don't know, but bear in mind that these changes also impact hostiles, so if a hound eats a spice plate of anything out there in the world, its damage will rise, and if it decides to garlic it up instead, then anticipate it taking more hits than usual to bring down, as it has more defense, as you can see. Now, do I see us having to worry about a spiced up hostile world after today? No, not at all. But hey, It's more of a possibility than ever, which is fun, I guess. But if we are talking the potential of fun interactions with the world, then this next bit definitely takes the cake, simply given its potential moving forward. The deconstruction of many items, but more specifically for us here today, the Bee Queen Crown, Bone Armor, Bone Helm, Shadow Thurple, and Spider Hats. It's simple, folks. Depending on the durability of each of these things, they now drop stuff when deconstructed. Bone Armor drops 10 Bone Shards and 6 Nightmare Fuel. The Bone Helm does the same, minus 2 Nightmare Fuel. The Shadow Thurple deconstructs into Ash, 6 Nightmare Fuel, and 2 Cutstone. The Bee Queen Crown drops 4 Honeycomb, 2 Royal Jelly, 3 Honey, and 4 Bees, which is by far still the best and the one that makes the most sense out of the bunch here. And finally, a Spider Hat will give us 4 Silk, 2 Spider Glands, and 1 Monster Meat. Now, the idea behind all of this is absolutely phenomenal. Just some of these drops are not. More specifically, the bone stuff, and I think most of us agree, which is why it's still very weird how we didn't get fossil fragments out of this deal. But oh well, what else do we got? Ah yes, the Premier Gardener hat changes and the pickaxe nonsense. Although not really needed and or even used all that much, reducing the craft to using Thulside fragments instead of full Thulside chunks was absolutely the right call. And a reduced craft of anything really does entice folk to question actually using it at the end of the day, so I'd say that one was a win-win. And you know what? Even though I myself might still be a bit gun-shy about the pickaxe changes, I would still label its changes as a win too. A damage increase of 12 points over the original, on top of double the durability of its predecessor, is not nothing, and definitely worth it. If you don't mind venturing all the way down into the ruins to an ancient pseudoscience station to maybe convert your almost broken luxury tools, that is. That is my one gripe with it, and the one thing holding me back. Its availability. If you give us a way to access ancient crafting outside of the ruins, just like how we have access to lunar crafting later on in the endgame, then you've got yourself a deal. But speaking of deals, what's up with the crafting changes with the moon rock walls and the spoilage timers of the moon gleams and infused moon shards beard? Well, moon rock walls have seen their craft drop from 12 rocks for 4 walls to 4 rocks for 4 walls, which is absolutely welcomed. However, I still question why they didn't go even a teensy tiny step further with it. For you see, moon rock walls are the only walls in this game with special properties to them, as they not only take less damage when hit by players, but only players alone, mind you, but also take forever to destroy with a hammer. So why only reduce the craft to reduce it for the limited number of folk who will even bat an eye at them, while the potential to give others a reason to look at it is literally right in front of you? But yes, the Eye of the Storm stuff. Moon gleams and infused moon shards will now take much longer to spoil than they once did, and that is pretty much all you need to know, as it's wonderful, as the latter spoilage rate was unnecessarily annoying before. However, this does mean that moon gleams will also last longer outside of our inventories when they spawn in the moonstorms, and that might actually be more of an issue than you might think. But to wrap up our day, remember that chat has a log history now of 100 messages, that the log actually persists between lobbies and shards, meaning you won't actually miss things when venturing down into the caves and vice versa, that a profanity filter is now active if you choose to use it, mind you, and plenty more, all of which are definitely, well, quality of life changes. Oh, but don't gloss over the bug fixes here either, as at least 2 of them are really worth a look at actually. But enjoy it all. And there you have it, everyone. A full overview of the October 2021 Quality of Life update that didn't actually come out in October and kind of sprinkled in some hot fixes over the course of the month, only to finally release here in October just the other day to yet another hot fix. So while those of you who have been paying attention needed absolutely none of this here today, I do hope that you still understand why I did any of this here today. I just wanted all the information, all in one place. But thanks for watching, folks. Well wishes to all. I still wish you a happy Hollow Nights moving forward. And I'll see ya in the next one. Bye-bye.